So we move the conversation on this Monday edition of the SportsMax Zone to cricket. Guyana Harpy Eagles remain atop the table after 5 rounds of the West Indies 4-day championship following their 10-wicket win over the Windward Islands Volcanoes. That happened in round 5. The Harpy Eagles now have 102.6 points. That's 1.5 ahead of the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Both teams have 4 wins and a draw. The Leeward Islands Hurricanes are third with 79.6 points after securing their 3rd win of the tournament against the combined campuses and colleges. Barbados Pride have dropped to 4th after being beaten inside 2 days by the Red Force with 78 points, while Jamaica Scorpions are 5th with 59.8, 14 ahead of the Windward Volcanoes, who suffered their 3rd defeat. West Indies Academy remain winless at the foot of the table, progressing to 25 points. The batsmen continue to perform well in the tournament, with 3 of them getting hundreds in round 5, including teenage sensation Jewel Andrew, who registered his maiden first-class ton, 122, and a second innings 65 to set up a comfortable 373-run victory for the Leeward's Hurricanes over CCC. The 18-year-old Antigua and Barbuda native has garnered the interest of cricket fans all over the region, and he joins us via Zoom to discuss his exploits thus far in the West Indies Championship. He's actually on phone talking with us. Joel, welcome to the SportsMax Zone for the first time. Great to talk to you. You've impressed a lot of onlookers in the past year and a half. And I want to ask you first about the 100 over the weekend and how good it felt achieving the milestone as a first-class cricketer and a teenager.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for having me. Just achieving that made me feel great about myself. I've been getting messages from well-wishers and legends of the game, so it just makes me feel great about myself, and it's just for me to keep being consistent and just having fun.
Yeah, can you? I want to turn the clock back quickly to the Under-19 World Cup and how well you played there, because it was at that tournament, Joel, that many people first recognized your talent. Can you say quickly what that experience was like for you, because it put you on an international stage, and how much do you think that has propelled your career and confidence?
In that environment is more relaxed. I get to just be myself. So the results showed on the field was just the result of the coaches just being in my ear about relaxing, and that tournament actually propelled me in terms of confidence-wise. Now I feel I could just be myself in any game, no matter the opposition. So I think it's just me being myself at this point.
Yeah, I just want to understand exactly what you just said, because I'm hearing that you found the Under-19 World Cup a relaxing atmosphere for you?
Yes, it was.
Can you talk more about that? Because for many people, they would think that would be a lot of pressure.
I play against all the guys here at home, so I see the Under-19 level as not that challenging for me. Yeah. So it was just being myself at that point in time and just trying to make my family and well-wishers proud. So that's what I did at that tournament.
Yeah, very important point you just made there, Joel, because you were only 17 years old when you played in the World Cup, and you impressed everyone. The commentators, the international broadcasters covering the tournament spoke highly of you. Can you talk about your batting style and maybe the strengths that you have as far as you're concerned as a batsman?
I think I have good adaptability skills. So one day I could be a T20 player, and the next day I could be a Test player. So that's one part of my game I think I enjoy the most. But I would say my strength is probably playing against spin. Coming off of the tour we had in India, I'm more confident in terms of batting against spin. So I think that's a part of my game that I improved on.
Yeah, can you speak quickly about the technique of batting spin? Because on the streets, people think that the average West Indies batter struggles to play spin well. Can you talk quickly about your technique and what you employ to be successful against spin bowling?
For me, it's just about being more open to playing my shots and not really thinking about it too much. I just try to play within my strengths in terms of sweeps, drives, and just play to my strengths. So I think spin bowling will get you out majority of the time because we're batting most of spinners. So I think the thought of West Indian batters can't bat spin is a myth, actually.
Yeah. And you know, just now when you were responding to Lance, you spoke about, you know, your confidence, of course, growing, Jewel, and you spoke about your support system, right? Can you tell me a bit about your support system? Because I realize you're very close to your mom.
Yeah. My support system stems really from my mom. You know, when I do good, she's always here for me. When I do bad, she's more in my ear in terms of me just wanting to play too many shots. That's what she tells me all the time. So just try to make her proud in anything I do, on and off the field. So that's just what I want to do to make her proud.
Yeah, and I understand that you really want to make her proud. And Jewel, at the age of 18, what would you say, apart from making mom proud, fuels you every time you get to that a particular match, and of course, you know, you come out to bat? What fuels you to get that runs on your bat?
I mean, I know there's other players in the leagues that wants to play in my position, so that really fuels me to want to do good every game. And I know I could give my family and my friends a better life with me just making 100. So that's what I want to do every single game. I go into the field. I just try to do my best because I know they all want me to do the best.
Yeah, and how important is it to you, Joel, that, you know, you just don't make a century and stop, that you continuously put up these scores? You know, one of the things we always talk about on this show is consistency, because, you know, a lot of batsmen, they come out, they give us a stylish century, but then they're not consistent, and I feel like that is one of the problems that we've had when it comes to West Indies cricket, and it's not just the men, but the women too, in that batting department. And what are you doing to ensure that you give us that consistency?
For me, I think consistency stems from mindset. So every time I go onto the pitch, I just think of the good times that I had. I also think about my World Cup 100 a lot because I think that's my best innings to date. So every time I go out to buy, I always think about that innings and the things that I did well. And it's working for me, so that's what I keep doing.
Yeah, sounds good, Joel. I want to talk a little bit about approach, because in modern day cricket, it's so important to be able to transition from T20 cricket to 50 over cricket and to the longest form of the game, whether we're talking about 4-day first class cricket or we're talking about 5-day test cricket. And I look at the way you have scored a lot of your runs this season, and it does not seem to be a significant difference in tempo from when you play T20 cricket and when you play 50 over cricket. In fact, your century at the weekend came of 138 deliveries, the 122, which is pretty nippy, and then 65 in the second innings of 58 balls. So it seems as if you still go pretty quickly in the longest form of the game. How would you describe your overall approach, and do you try to change anything at all depending on the format of the game that you're playing?
For me, it's more of me wanting to do well. So in a T20 game, I know I have less time to actually get in. So it's not really much of a change in the longer format for me. I try to capitalize on, I would say, weaker bowlers and just try to do what I normally do. And then when I get in, I try to just make the opposition pay. But it's not much of a change in terms of formats for me.
Yeah, fair enough. How have you found the surfaces in the regional 4-day tournament? Because the batsmen have gotten a lot of runs. You're close to 400 runs now in the competition. And the suggestion has been that the surfaces have been much better for batting, but also that the ball, the Kookaburra ball, probably hasn't given as much assistance to the bowlers for long enough periods. So it has given the batsmen more of an opportunity to get in and get settled and get bigger scores. Your thoughts?
With the Kookaburra ball, I think it swings for 10 overs max. So when I'm into bat later down, it's just straight onto the bat, to be honest. And the pitches are flatter and easier to score on, so it's just the batters capitalizing on pitches and just the ball for me. So it's just the batters capitalizing, to be honest.
Yeah, and fair enough. I wanted to get an understanding. I mean, clearly you bat at number 6, and you've batted at number 6 quite a bit. Is that your preferred batting position? Is that the type of role you see yourself in going forward in whatever format of the game that you play?
Well, I actually want to go higher, but I just have to work with what I have for now. And anytime I get an opportunity, I just have to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to go earlier someday.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, though. There are many greats who started at 6 and came all the way down to 4 or 3. So maybe you will transition in good time. You are only 18 years old, so you have a lot of time. When you look at what's happening in West Indies cricket, you did get an opportunity in the one-day international format last year. And there are spaces up for grabs. Let's not kid ourselves. How much of a chance do you give yourself? I mean, 18 years old, but filled with tremendous talent. How much do you give yourself a shot of breaking into West Indies teams on a consistent basis, whether it be T20, 50-over cricket, or Test cricket?
Well, for me, I think my year of being called young is out the window. So it's just for me to be consistent as possible and just my off-the-field habits and routines have been changing so that I can give myself the best chance of performing. So that's what I'm sticking at right now.
Yeah, here's an interesting one for you, Joel. Is there, or which of the 3 formats would you ideally want to first become a consistent member of the West Indies setup in?
Uh, 50 overs for now.
50-over cricket for now. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I can definitely understand why. I don't know why Lance was laughing, you know.
It was a tough question for the young chap.
I would say all.
Yeah.
anyone they call me for.
We've got to wrap the segment now, Joel, but I just want to ask you very quickly about domestic cricket in Antigua and Barbuda. You play for Pigots Crushers, don't you? That's your club locally?
Yes, I do.
Can you give a comment on to how much the club has helped to develop your talent?
There would be guys at my club that would just bowl me all afternoon. So just being around that type of setup gets me in a good space before a game. And they mostly help me off the field in terms of getting my mind right. And technique-wise, just them throwing balls at me and giving me advice really helps me and gives me that extra drive to do well.
Yeah. Who is your club coach?
Winston Benjamin.
Winston Benjamin. Yeah, that's a good man. Tell him hi for us when you speak to him next.
I will.
Okay, thank you very much, George Joel, and all the best. And we continue to watch and track your career, and we think the sky's the limit for you, and we hope you'll get there.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, great, Joel Andrew. Pretty smart young man. Conducted himself well in that interview.
He said he's not that young anymore. Come on.
Well, yeah, but he is.
He says his days
18.
of being called young are gone. Like,
Yes.
It's good that he's thinking that way. But the fact is he's 18.
I get what
he's
he's
still
saying,
young.
though. You know that 1 year, that period, that grace period that you get, it's over for him. So now he just needs to put up those runs.
Yeah, I fully understand what he's saying, but he's still 18.
I can't use the phrase that my mom would use back then when you feel as if you're getting a little too old. Your mom used it as well too, right, Lance?
Are you sure?
That we can't
big
say
for
on
your
TV.
That's what they would say back then.
Say what?
You're getting too big for your shoe.
Oh no, there's another one. There's that one too, but there's another one that we can't say on air. And by the way, Lance Murray, I don't think anything was wrong with his answer about saying 50-over cricket is the one he would like to get settled in first. In fact, I believe that based on the tempo of which he scores and so on,
ideally,
that the 50-over game is ideal for him.
Yes.
And that's the format I think he will likely excel at first.
Yes.
Not that I don't think he can't become a great test player, because that sort of tempo is good for the test game as well.
And to be fair to him, he did say first.
Yes.
He said
Yeah.
that the one he would want to establish himself first,
Yeah.
which suggests that he's open to developing
Yes.
in the other formats
As his
well.
performances are showing.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
We go to break. We'll have more on the SportsMax Zone after this.